Okay, and that's where we're going to be getting into this next shift. Paradigm shift number 3, guys. I want you to really understand this next big piece changes everything. The human will instead of motivation. Most people who here has ever said that, I need motivation to do the thing. I just lack motivation. I'm trying to be more motivated to get my dieting done. I'm trying to eat healthy, right? But I just can't do it. All right, I'm just not motivated. Well, like I said, I was a four-sport athlete. Throughout my career, I faced this. I faced this. And if there's any athletes in the room, drop it in the chat. I love my fellow athletes, right? This is the key. And maybe you've experienced this throughout time as well. But one thing that I noticed from understanding willpower and from being a soccer player first was this understanding that motivation is never going to get you anywhere. It's dead. It's dead because motivation is a byproduct. And this story that I learned from playing soccer, I was blessed with an incredible coach, a few incredible coaches actually, but one in particular. His name is Oz Bakardon, and he was one of my soccer coaches when I was studying at Illinois Central College in Peoria. I tried out for the men's soccer team, made the team. We were incredibly driven, and he just beat us into champions, basically. Not literally, but he ran us like to death, basically. So it's about the same. But one impactful lesson that I still hold with me today was a story that he told us. It was after we just experienced a 3-game loss, and he was so pissed that he was very upset that he didn't even talk to us. You guys ever done something that makes somebody so mad at you that they don't even talk to you? They just look at you and you know that, oh, I'm in trouble. Yeah, that's what happened with him. So what happened was it was like a Friday, the game was. The next day, we usually never had practice on Saturdays, but he made us come back 7 a.m. in the morning for practice. But we didn't even touch a ball. What we did was ran. If you guys ever, my athletes in the room, you ever done a suicide? You ever done a full field suicide where you, especially on a soccer field, maybe on a basketball court or something like that, football field, but on a soccer field, everything changes. Like it's long. It's 120 meters. It's a long distance. So doing a full field suicide, you had to run the whole thing, but we had to do it in under 2 minutes, and that's fast. That's super fast. It's like running a 400-meter sprint in 2 minutes. Challenging. Well, more like 800 meters, actually. Let's be honest. But the big thing, that's how it felt anyway. But one thing is he he needed to do this to instill this drive of becoming a champion. And from doing this, the next year we went on to compete nationally. We finished 7th in the nation from this lesson. But what happened was we started doing 10 full field suicides under 2 minutes. Then we did another one because we had guys that didn't cross that line under 2 minutes. And then we hit 12, and we thought that was it. But there was one guy who didn't cross that line in under 2 minutes, the finish line. So we had to do a third one, or a last one, a 13th full field suicide. By this time, everybody's legs were shaking. We had guys throwing up. It was challenging, but we did it. And we actually reduced the time to a minute 55. So we lost 5 seconds. So not only were we so fatigued, we were thinking, how could we do this? You guys ever experienced something where you're like, dude, I physically do not know if I'll be able to make it out of this alive? Maybe that's a little drastic, but still, the concept. We pushed through this, and I almost failed. Almost failed. I was the farthest back. My legs were literally not working. I was about to fall on my face and lose this for the whole team. But that was when our captain came back because he had already finished. He came back and pushed me through the goal line. And that right there, this right there showed me the power of community. So many people are trying to do things alone. They're trying to walk this journey alone when they all they need is community. They need somebody with them, keeping them accountable, pushing them from the back if they need it to make sure they cross the finish line. So if one thing changes, guys, today, tomorrow, find somebody that can hold you accountable. You don't know how valuable that really is, especially when you're about to fall flat on your face, but they push you and give you that little boost to push you through. So afterwards, after that was all said and done, we made it, we were done. Coach Oz sat us down and he told us this powerful story about a plane, a group of explorers that crash landed in Antarctica. And what happened was there was one guy that was a survivor from this crash. Everybody else dead on this crash. Fatal crash. But there's one guy was still there. But rescue team could not get to him until the next morning. So he had to go throughout the whole night in Antarctica, sub negative 40, negative 100-degree weather, and he had to figure it out and survive. What happened was when the rescue team came the next day, they found everybody dead except for that one guy, where they found that his body was still warm. So how, I ask you, how can somebody's body still be warm in negative 40-degree weather, right? Negative 100-degree weather in Antarctica. Well, it's the fact of the human will to hold on to life and to endure and to push forward that held this guy on, and he was holding on for his life. He almost made it, made rest his soul. But the biggest importance lesson that I can share with you from this that changed everything, how I see things, and hopefully it changes that for you too, is your will to endure, your will to conquer, your will to overcome. It's the most powerful thing in the entire universe. The human spirit, the human will to live, the human will to overcome, unleash its full potential is the driving force